Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce Annual Dinner and Awards Program. Come together. Together, we make a community. Please help me welcome the 2018 Chairman of the Board for your Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce, Scott Reed.
Welcome, Chamber members, to the 2019 Award Program. I want to thank you all for coming together this evening to help us celebrate business and extraordinary individuals to make our community what it is. I hope everyone's enjoyed the evening thus far. I would like to recognize the dedication of the Board of Directors and the ongoing efforts of the staff of the Chamber, Travis, Margie, and Cheryl. We have had a very successful year, and this small staff and board have accomplished a lot. Instead of reviewing those accomplishments like we have in the past, we've changed things up a little bit this year, and you may have noticed in your program that we described some of those accomplishments this year, so hopefully you've had an opportunity to take a look at those and would agree at the great success the Chamber of Commerce has had this year. I'd also like to take a moment to thank all of the members and the support over the year. Without contributions and engagement from our members, we would not be able to provide the services and programming that work so hard to champion for our members. And speaking of support, this year's event theme is meant to celebrate the businesses and people in our community that come together to give back, something I'm quite familiar with in my new role. It's very difficult to quantify, but there are countless amounts of volunteer hours and financial support that help make Fairfield County and Lancaster, Ohio, a special place to live. As we were planning this year's event, we thought it would be a good idea to find a keynote speaker to help us reflect on and celebrate coming together as a community. Plus, you wouldn't have to listen to me talk so long. It didn't take us very long to come up with a good person to do that. Our keynote speaker this evening has given back herself in countless ways and truly understands to support what it takes to support a community. Serving as assistant professor, program director of health technology at OUL, Deborah Smith has been a leader in education technology and was the keynote speaker at the 2011 Women in Technology Conference at OUL. She is a retired physical therapist and is an experienced public speaker on how to keep your audience engaged. Passionate about her community, she was a member of the Fairfield Medical Center Board of Directors from 2009 to 2015, where she served a term as board chair as well. Among other volunteer activities, she is a member of the Board of Directors for the Recovery Center and a trainer for Bridges Out of Poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me and give a warm welcome to tonight's keynote speaker, Deb Smith.
Good evening. I realize that as you prepared for this evening and you realized there was going to be a keynote speaker, several of you may have had a pause. Especially if you know me and have heard me speak ad nauseum about things about which I have passion. But I want you to relax a little bit now, because what I want to address this evening is a concern and a passion that I'm sure each of you shares. Tonight, we are here celebrating achievements in our community. Hardworking, persistent people who love their work and love their community. We have much to be thankful for as we reflect on their commitment and their courage. It takes courage to be a winner in any category. The courage of persistence, the courage of overcoming failure and disappointment, and the courage for asking for help when it's needed. Our community is defined by the individuals and companies being honored tonight. But it's also defined by the people who come together in so many ways outside of their work to better this community. You know them. You're probably sitting right beside them. They sacrifice weekends and weeknights to organize fundraisers, decorate halls for events, and walk the streets to hand out everything from political flyers to block party invitations. They sponsor and administer fantastic musical events, such as the festival. They work in the PTO of their local schools, umpire baseball games, a thankless job, and clean glue off tables after a Christmas ornament-making party of a local preschool. They plant flowers in downtown planters, and then stop to pull a weed on any random day in the planter if they see one. They serve on boards to help guide businesses and organizations as they strive to be successful and true to their mission. We also have many formal organizations that stress service to the community. They have a long history of promoting international student exchanges and offering a hand to families who can't afford a good Christmas for their children. They sell cans of nuts and sponsor baseball leagues, as well as build playgrounds accessible to all. They honor veterans and participate in honor burials and parades. They have meetings to encourage and support each other, and as I understand it, they all tell pretty bad jokes. We also have silent givers who mow a lawn for a sick neighbor or rake the pastor's leaves at their church. They see a need and they meet it quietly and with no hidden agenda. All these people make up a community, our community. And although there are many statistics from many different perspectives that help people understand our community, these are the acts that demonstrate the soul of our community, that almost inexpressible thing that makes it difficult for you to answer the question, why do you like living there? That thing that we can show an example, but is difficult for us to express clearly. And they all of them who participate in these activities, in one way or another, are worried about the future of those traditions. They're worried about the legacy of our community. Group after group struggles to find enough volunteers and ponders the future of their beloved events without an eager volunteer pool. In conversations, they lament the age of technology where face-to-face interactions seem to be overridden by the lure of a flashing screen. Perhaps, they muse, it's a generational shift in priorities and a decreased sense of duty to the community. Or could it be a changing demographic in our community with more economic diversity and more evidence of social challenges? At any rate, it isn't the same, and many wonder loud if our proud traditions of volunteerism will survive the next generation. As we blame technology or today's lifestyles or apathy or lack of commitment or a changing community demographic, we can get lost in the academic discussion of why the future will be different. We can get spooked by the fear that things will not be the same. No one will take up the mantle. No one will plant those flowers, serve on those boards, and support those families at Christmas time. But wait, That concern isn't that different from those faced by the people being honored tonight. Their business environment changes constantly. They had to change and adapt every step of the way. The courage they had to keep working and never stop trying for a better outcome is the same courage we need to use to apply to our worries about the future of volunteerism. Technology has changed us. As much as it disconnects us from traditional ways of working together, it also offers some exciting alternatives. It makes virtual committee work using a private chat room a real possibility. It helps to organize events and share information. It offers people who can't physically attend every meeting a chance to participate anyway. It has many platforms for fundraising or project coordination, and it streamlines communication and gets the message out to more diverse audiences. And yes, today's lifestyles are different. They are crowded with obligations and demands that I didn't face when I was younger or as a parent. Keeping up with everyone's activities, monitoring homework, pursuing a second or third degree, working one or maybe two jobs, and attending every event can be overwhelming. But all this activity also connects people with more and more other people and makes them aware of the needs of the community. It forms priorities and identifies problems to solve. Apathy and lack of commitment are a matter of perspective. In a world that invites everyone to focus on national and world issues, community members can feel that their volunteer work doesn't matter. Once every 4 years, we get a chance to vote and influence the national direction, but every day, we can do something that changes the quality of this community. Every day, we can work together to shape something real, something powerful, and something long-lasting, the soul of our community. Our community, like all, is changing. We see different faces, different attitudes, and different ways of living this life. We're invited to isolate and gate ourselves off. The one thing that can offer an answer to that temptation of isolationism is volunteering. You don't have to march anywhere or make a sign or shout at a camera to express your ideals. You can live them right here. We can open our organizations and our events to innovative ways of including everyone who has our shared passion to serve. We're facing a time of great opportunity as we ponder these challenges to the legacy we have of volunteer services in our community. For those of you who are already active in organizations, now is the time to ask yourselves and ask those who aren't in your organizations some very basic questions. Try a focus group or an online survey to discover what motivates the volunteers you need. What are the best models for future success? How can we redefine our projects to allow short-term involvement that is very project-based? How can we change our expectations of participation? What things can we let go? And what don't we know about the need in our community? Who can we partner with to achieve common goals? What kind of orientation does our group need to make everyone feel welcome? For those of you who are not active, now is the time to define your legacy and find the one thing that will make you feel a vital part of this great place. All of us need to work together to identify barriers to participation and work to decrease them. All of us need to acknowledge that we work very hard every day to better our families and ourselves. And that work is never truly done unless it includes the work to build a better community for those who follow us. Listen, for the past 2 years, my grandson has communicated in one-syllable grunts despite my best efforts to have an actual conversation. In the last month, he has actually had 2-sentence exchanges with me that made sense, and, miracle of all miracles, he made eye contact for half of them. If that can happen, I have total confidence that the people in this room can have the courage of the winners we acknowledged tonight. The courage to keep volunteering, keep trying new ways of engaging people in the community, keep identifying new challenges, and keep letting go of what doesn't work, and keep believing that service to each other is the only legacy worth the effort. Thank you.
Let's give her another round of applause. That was a great message. Thank you, Deb. Well, now let's move on to recognizing some of the outstanding businesses and community leaders who have come together to make meaningful contributions with their business in our community.
The Tammy Nusser Customer Service Award was created to honor Tammy Nusser, who worked at the Chamber of Commerce for 6 years before losing her battle with cancer. Tammy was an inspiration to us all and a master of the art of customer service, whether working with chamber members, fellow volunteers, or her coworkers. This award is given to an individual or company that demonstrates consistency and level of service to their customers, follows through on promises and agreements to customers, always addresses the customer with friendliness and enthusiasm, has demonstrated a willingness to go above the required job responsibilities to help a customer, and must be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. The recipient of the Tammy Nusser Customer Service Award this year has gone far above and beyond to demonstrate the characteristics of this award. Kate Smiley Parker, who serves as the director of Fairfield National Bank's Freedom Years program, is a perfect example of what top-notch customer service should be. As director, Kate is the primary contact for the 3,000 Freedom Years members she serves. In 2018 alone, Kate traveled on 37 different trips and escorted over 814 different travelers throughout the continental United States and around the world. Kate is responsible for managing every detail of each trip, including transportation, lodging, meals, daily excursions, emergency preparations, and the overall group enjoyment. Those who know Kate or who have traveled with her speak highly of her selfless attitude and terrific enthusiasm. When she's not traveling, she also finds time to serve as a volunteer board member for the Decorative Arts Center of Ohio and the Fairfield County Visitors and Convention Bureau. Kate's customer services standards are represented perfectly by one of her travel clients who said, "Kate made extraordinary efforts to make certain things went smoothly. The participants' concerns were addressed and that all activities were well organized. We have taken several trips before, and this one was first class by our standards."
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate this year's recipient, Kate Smiley Parker.
All right, good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank the Tammy Nusser Foundation Committee for selecting me as a representative this year, and for my colleagues at Fairfield National Bank for nominating me. Steve Wells, Molly Bates, Laura Tussing, and Peggy Hall are all great examples of customer service, so the fact that they thought to nominate me means so much. My mission to give great customer service has been a passion of mine because I've always had this need to make people feel special. Oddly enough, the first time I noticed an important aspect of great customer service was from listening to my grandfather tell college stories about his class peers. Many of you may know him as Dr. Gordon Snyder, but to me he's just Papa. Papa. If you do know him, you know that he never forgets a thing, let alone a name. So I would listen to his stories, and he would always remember people's full names. I would think about those people and how special they would feel knowing that they were valued enough to him that he remembered their names 6 or 7 decades later, which left a lasting impression on me. After graduating college, I began working at the bank, and I'll never forget our first company meeting. I was waiting in line for breakfast with about 50 other people, and Steve Wells, the bank president, came out of his office and greeted all 50 of us by name and with a good morning. At the time, I'd only been with the bank for about 2 weeks, so the fact that the bank president knew my name and greeted me as if I had been there for decades completely floored me. I felt so special, and I realized that remembering someone's name was probably the easiest way to make people feel valued and worthwhile. Everyone wants to be remembered. Now it's my personal mission to try to remember everyone that I meet and to greet them as if I've known them for decades, which totally drives my husband nuts because it takes me like 5 years to get out of the Kroger on East Main Street. But I say, suck it up, Buttercup, I'm on a mission. So, starting with that simple task of remembering names, my passion for making people feel special and valued has only grown being at the bank. I am so proud to be an associate there, being surrounded by like-minded people who go above and beyond at every turn. Other than Fairfield National, my other two passions are traveling and Fairfield County. I have been so fortunate enough to have visited all 50 states and over 30 countries so far, and I can absolutely say without a doubt that Fairfield County is worth being proud of. It's our people and our sense of community. The leaders and the active members in this county have an enthusiasm that is quite honestly contagious. I am so lucky that I have the opportunity to travel with and get to know quite a few of our community leaders and members. They inspire me to want to provide great customer service because they have given back so much to a place where I love to live. I find it comes natural to provide great customer service when I'm so proud of who I am, where I work, and where I'm from. Thank you.
Our next award this evening is the Young Professional of the Year Award. This award is intended to encourage and recognize the achievements of a young professional who has demonstrated a noteworthy commitment to his or her profession, personal or professional development, community service, and/or leadership skills towards bettering Fairfield County. Scott Spangler, this year's recipient of the Young Professional of the Year Award, has demonstrated his value and commitment as a young professional working as the Director of Community Impact for United Way of Fairfield County. Scott's leadership has been instrumental in growing the United Way's tax preparation program for low-income individuals to where it is today, serving over 1,800 clients. Scott has helped write grants, organized volunteers and resources, and secured additional funding for programs like Feeding Our Future backpacks for elementary schools in Fairfield County and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library books. Scott is active with the Lancaster Kiwanis Club, the Lancaster Young Professionals Planning Committee, Fairfield County OSU Extension Advisory Committee, Fairfield County Juvenile Court Mentor Group, and is Director of Coaching for the Pataskala Football Club. One of his co-workers described Scott with these words: "He is very generous in lending his vast knowledge base and extending his hand to anyone who asks for any type of help or direction." While Scott recently resigned from the United Way, he will be leveraging his leadership with a helping hand as he currently is enrolled in the State Fire Academy, pursuing his dream of becoming a firefighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate this year's recipient, Scott Spangler.
All right, being a young professional, I was going to write down my notes on paper, but I kind of felt obligated to use my phone. So if this goes haywire, I'm going to blame technology. Deb, I can say no one was dreading hearing a keynote speaker tonight, but as a fellow speaker, I was dreading following You are eloquent, so this is going to be tough. Thank you to Lancaster Fairfield Chamber of Commerce. Just to be nominated for this award is such a huge honor. Receiving it was very unexpected and definitely the icing on the cake for my time at United Way. In my mind, to receive an award like this is just a wonderful opportunity to thank some people that really deserve all the credit. First and foremost to my Wonder Woman, my wife Emily, who's been my rock and my love of my life since 7th grade. Thank you to fellow young professionals Andrea and Nicole for the nomination. Thank you to my fellow tax geek, Sheila Jacobs, for investing so much time in our program and effort at United Way. To my partner in all things taxes, Barbara Sanford. If you don't know Barbara, she's probably one of the nicest and most genuine people you'll ever meet. My longtime colleague, Kathy Metz, for your investment in my life, and for all your work behind the scenes at United Way. To the other influential and impactful women who I was able to work alongside with for quite some time, Amanda Everett, Susan Nixon-Stoughton, Brenda Shamblin, as well as Molly, Audrey, Shelley, and Beth. Also, thank you for the countless volunteers who just give your time and effort to drive the mission of United Way and who've made an impact on my career personally. Lastly, I'd like to thank my former boss and current friend, Sherry Orlando, not only for her 25 years of leadership and service to Fairfield County, but for her guidance and mentorship over the past 7 years. So if it's okay with you, I'll keep this pretty brief tonight. I just have a few quick notes, so if I go over my allotted hour, Mr. Competti just starts the music, all right? You probably know that I left my position as a video set at United Way in December after a 7-year run. And honestly, it was my work with United Way and the community that was truly the inspiration to begin a new career as a firefighter and EMT with actually the Columbus Division of Fire. Hopefully, I'll be able to make an impact for a lot of individuals and family moving forward. The Fairfield County community is what I have missed most over the past month or so. Now that I work outside the county, I can honestly say that you won't find a more collaborative and caring community, a community which works hard for the well-being of others. When I was notified that I received this award, it was a bit of a shock. If you were to ask most people in the nonprofit or social service field where getting an award falls on their list of accomplishments, my guess is that it wouldn't even make the list. So I believe that to receive an award like this is not really a recognition of one's own efforts, but rather a recognition of the collective community. When I look back on the accomplishments of the past 7 years, I think about things that were accomplished together as a community. I only played a small part. As a community, we provided free books to hundreds of children. As a community, we provided weekend meals for thousands of children. We helped refund several millions of dollars to low-income families. And we provided tens of millions of dollars to agencies who fight for the education, financial stability, and health of families throughout Fairfield County. None of this possible without community. So my last point for the night, in my role at United Way, I had the unique opportunity to see people from all walks of life and really buy in for their community. There's so many committed and passionate individuals here in Fairfield County. I saw them give up their own hard-earned money, their free nights and weekends, and just generally give sacrificially for others. That being said, I also noticed that this population of caring individuals is getting a little bit older. Many icons that you may know have retired in the past few years. You probably agree with that. So if I could leave you with one challenge, it would be this. If you're lucky enough to be considered young, then get involved. I'm going to use a bad word here. Us millennials think we never have enough time, but let me tell you, you can make such an impact for others with just a few hours, just a few dollars, even with just a few kind words. Plain and simple, buy in and make an investment in your community. If you're lucky enough to be considered experienced, then I would encourage you to share that experience and invest in the life of a younger person. Share your own story of community and encourage them to make a difference for someone else. Thank you again for this honor and all the best. God bless.
Our next award this evening is the Brett Markwood Award, sponsored by Kumler Collision and Automotive. First responders are the men and women who are first on the scene as a natural or man-made disaster unfolds. First responders are the police officers, firefighters, and emergency medical technicians that are an integral part of maintaining each community's quality of life. Each year, we recognize and honor a firefighter and/or police officer from Fairfield County with the Brett Markwood Award. This award was established to honor the memory of Lancaster police officer Brett Markwood, who was killed in the line of duty on February 21, 1993. Officer Adam Locke is the recipient of this year's Brett Markwood Award. Officer Locke serves as a great example of what this award is all about. During Officer Locke's career with the Lancaster Police Department, he has demonstrated leadership, fairness, and respect for the citizens in which he serves. In 2007, the department implemented a swing shift to manage manpower shortages, and without one single complaint, Officer Locke quickly volunteered to work this shift despite pulling him away from his family obligations. Officer Locke currently works the busy 3 to 11 patrol shift despite having opportunities to transfer to other shifts with more normal hours. He also serves as a field training officer, a voluntary position that assists new officers and ensures that they have the skills needed to be successful. Multiple examples of Officer Locke's exemplary police work have been cited by his superiors, including some very dangerous encounters involving domestic violence, burglary, and even the assisted apprehension of a fugitive. His peers voted him Officer of the Year in 2011, and tonight I think we can all agree he is a deserving recipient of the Brett Markwood Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate Officer Adam Locke.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'd like to begin by saying what a great honor and privilege to be selected for the Brett Markwood Award. Words cannot express the honor to have my name mentioned in the same breath as Brett Markwood. I did not know Brett personally, but I can say that his name is held in such high regard at the Lancaster PD that anyone who has spent any length of time at the department would come away greatly impacted and have the utmost respect for Brett because of his courage, bravery, character, knowledge, dedication, professionalism, and ultimately his life he gave in the service of others in this community. I would like to thank Chief Adam Pillar for nominating me for this award. You, sir, were privileged enough to know Brett personally. There are no words to convey what it means to me that you believe I'm deserving to receive this award in Brett's honor. To the members of the Chamber of Commerce, I thank you for selecting me for this award and for all that you do for this community. The Brett Markwood Award given by the Chamber of Commerce is considered to be one of the greatest awards that you can receive at the Lancaster Police Department. Thank you to all the numerous businesses, churches, and citizens in this great county who continually show their support to the first responders in our community. Words cannot express how greatly we appreciate all the prayers, letters, and donations thanking us for our service. Just as Brett Markwood's legacy is very influential, there are many people who have made a big impact in my life. I would like to take just a brief minute to give them the credit that they deserve. I'd like to thank, first and foremost, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for the influence that he has in my life. There's no doubt in my mind I would not be standing here today in this profession, receiving this award, if not for his work in my life. He is the ultimate example of one who provides hope, brings peace, and demonstrates how to sacrifice your life for the good of others. I thank my mother and father who taught me to always put God first and foremost in my life and to do all things as unto the Lord and for his glory. To my lovely wife, Mindy, and our 4 children, thank you for putting up with me when sometimes I come home from work with a grumpy attitude. Thank you for your unconditional love and for always being supportive of me. I'd like to acknowledge the outstanding care, compassion, and dedication shown every day by all of the first responders in Fairfield County, especially the supervisors, dispatchers, and other men and women I work with on an everyday basis from the Lancaster Police Department and Lancaster Fire Department, many of whom are deserving to be standing in my place right now. I would like to thank Brett Markwood, if not for the great influence he had in the lives of so many, because of his sacrifice, his commitment to his community, family, friends, and fellow brothers and sisters in blue, we would not have this award. If I could leave just a small fraction of influence in the lives of others as Brett has, I would have accomplished something that anyone would be proud of. Lastly, we all have had people who have played large roles in making us the men and women we are today, especially the role that family members and parents play in raising their children. I've had the privilege of meeting Brett's mother and father, Richard and Carol Markwood, and I thank you two for the huge role that I'm certain that you played as Brett's parents in making Brett the man that he was. To the entire Markwood family, we will forever be grateful for Brett's sacrifice. Mr. and Mrs. Markwood, for you and your family's sacrifice that was made for the citizens of this community and for all this award represents in Brett's honor, I'm sure I speak for all in giving our heartfelt gratitude, praise, recognition, and appreciation due to your son and your family for the great sacrifice made for our community. Thank you.
The Small Business of the Year Award is given to a business each year with less than 25 employees that has proven to have a record of service to the community, recent or significant growth, or innovative new products, providing good jobs at competitive wages with benefits and company policies empowering to employees and friendly to their families, a record of sound business ethics, been in business for 5 years, and must be a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
I'd always wanted to do graphic design, even in high school. I thought, well, if I go to college, that might be something I wanted to study. Finally, somebody said, maybe you should just go do this as your career, and found a job at a printing company as their graphic designer. So I worked there for about 5 years. And somebody else then says, you should probably go out on your own and do this on your own. We try and offer a wide range of graphic design needs to our clients. And whether it's websites or photography or logo design, print material, we just really love being in this community, and to go into a business and say, have a conversation with them and just really talk through what are your needs, what can we do to help you get there visually, and to help you tell your story. From the very beginning, I got involved in Rotary. The opportunities that it has offered Julie, where she's working with the exchange students and working and going on trips with them, and I work with the Interact Club here at Fisher. It's been such a cool thing to see these students and learn from them. They're just so talented and excited about their just life, and it's been such a great experience. This is just such an honor, and I was totally surprised by it, to be considered that, to be honored by this. So we're very thrilled and thankful to this community, and to Travis and to Amanda, who nominated us.
But wow, the whole community and our clients who have embraced us and supported us, have given us opportunities, and we really appreciate everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate Martin Barker Design.
Thank you to the Chamber. This is such an honor and humbling to receive this award. Again, thanks Amanda Everett for the nomination. First, I want to thank Julie, my wife of 35 years. She's a full partner in this business. and for her part in this venture. She cares a very large part of what we do. As an artist herself, we together push ourselves in the creative process. Without her, the business would not be possible, so love you. Tonight, it's also a thrill to have my daughter, Meg, and her husband, Caleb Sanchez, right down. Can you get me? Okay. The cool millennials, can I say that? Okay. Who are taking photos of you tonight. We're really proud of them. If you're getting married and you need a photographer, okay. Like I said, I've always dreamed about being a graphic designer and having my own business. But there was one person that was very influential in the beginning of this business, and his name is Tom Laporte. He encouraged me in so many ways, and I finally took the plunge and began this journey. He believed in me and what I could offer the Decorative Arts Center, as well as the community. In time, many of you also offered me that same invitation to give me a chance, and for this I'm so grateful. It's been a truly wonderful experience living and working in this community. I've learned here that while striving for excellence as a designer, we together, the things that build community really aren't about the product or services that I offer. It's really about being a good neighbor. When we get that right, it's a beautiful thing. It can be hard work, and sometimes we don't get it right. I guess that's what's so great about living here, that grace is also in abundance. I do want to thank the Lancaster Rotary Club. It has taught me that in all I think, say, or do, to live by the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? I also want to thank the Interact Club here at Fisher Catholic. Interact is just Rotary for high school students, and I appreciate them allowing me to work with them every week and finding ways to make our world a better place. Some of them have been serving us this evening. In closing, I wanted to leave something from what I call lessons learned about doing community. One day we noticed that a move was happening down our street. I thought, we need to do something. So Julie baked some of her homemade bread and her potato soup. With gifts in hand, I introduced myself and welcomed them to the neighborhood. Of course, they were so appreciative, and I was feeling pretty proud of myself and impressed at what I had just done. About 10 minutes later, I got a knock on the door. It was the neighbor holding the bread and potato soup. She said, "I'm sorry, I can't accept this." I was completely perplexed. She said, "I'm the one moving out." Unfortunately, this really happened. I didn't make it up. Thank you to the Chamber for this award, and we look forward to serving this great community as long as we possibly can. Thank you.
The Large Business of the Year award is given to a business each year that has proven a record of service to the community, recent significant growth, or innovative new products or services. Good jobs at competitive wages and benefits with company policies empowering to employees and friendly to their families. A record of sound business ethics, be in business for more than 5 years, and must be a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Retrieve Technologies began its early beginnings here in 1999 March when we opened the doors in Baltimore, Ohio, 13 miles north of here, as a large quantity handler of universal waste to store batteries, sort batteries, and eventually become a nickel-cadmium recovery facility. We segregated the batteries, sorted them, packaged them, and then eventually in 2000 bought the building here in Lancaster to start building a permitted facility to actually take those batteries apart Here in Lancaster, we have two buildings. One is for lead-acid batteries, like large format forklift batteries. In this building, we're processing lithium-ion batteries. We built a plant. We're recycling lithium-ion batteries globally for various car manufacturers, OEMs, as well as cell phone, laptop, iPods. Early on, in March of '99, I was the only employee that was actually working with the batteries. Gradually, over 4, 5, 6 months, I hired a couple of people to help out with some of the manual labor because I was getting tied up with all the bookwork. Today, we're at 70 employees, give or take, any day, and we've got a great team here. We're extremely grateful and gratified and totally surprised about receiving the award, the Large Business of the Year. We are here in Lancaster. We feel like there's not a lot of people know who we are, what we do, and this gives us an opportunity to show them that we're good neighbors, that we're looking to help environmentally make this community sound. Batteries are the nastiest things we throw in our trash. And we've got a big green box program that's a national program for small collections. We're just very grateful to the Chamber for and to the community for getting us into this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate your winner of the Large Business of the Year Award, Retrieve Technologies.
Wow. I'm really looking old on the screen, I tell you. That's exactly what I said when I got the call that we were nominated and that we were going to be awarded this prestigious award. It all started at a staff meeting one morning. Our HR health and safety manager said, we need to let people know what we do around here. I can thank Stacy DeLong for that. But this thing has had such a big, big lift to the morale of all the employees of Retrieve. To briefly explain what we do is to simply say we recycle batteries. And most of you would say, oh, you do car batteries, or you maybe a flashlight battery. Well, we do those batteries. But we also recycle every other battery you can imagine, from the cell phone, laptops, modems, forklift batteries, electric vehicle batteries, hybrid vehicle batteries. We get the batteries in from the submarines when the nukes go out and do their 6-month tour on the ice. We get aircraft batteries. We've even recycled batteries off the space station. We bought the property in the old Hortus building in 2000 out on Quarry Road, and we began our relationship with the city of Lancaster. We introduced ourselves to the police department, the fire department, the water department, and at the same time we were simultaneously going through the process of getting a Part B storage permit from the Ohio EPA. I would really like to take this time to thank the fire department, water department, police department for all the support they've given us and continue to give us at this time to Retrieve. It wasn't long after that, when we came here, that we joined the Chamber of Commerce. It's been a great experience being a part of the Chamber of Commerce, and I want to thank Travis and Scott and all the Chamber members for all the help and support that they've given us as well. And I really would like to say personally that I want to thank Travis for inviting me to be a board member. So I'm serving my second term on the board of directors, so thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. One other person I would like to congratulate and thank for all their graciousness is, the short story is, our attorney, Steve Davis, retired not long ago, and Steve'd been working with us for 20 years. I said, so Steve, who can we look at so that we have an attorney on hand if we need one? And he recommended Dagger Law, and he recommended Jeff Spangler. So I called Jeff, and I invited him out to the plant. I thought I'd get a chance to talk to him, and I'll walk him around the plant, make sure he understands what we do, how we do it. Well, as we walked through the facility, I honestly felt like I was walking a young man through there that had never seen anything like this before. Not only was he surprised, but he was like in amazement. So Jeff, thank you so much for your kind and gracious words that you put into our nomination for Retrieve. Thanks, Jeff. I've been in the recycling business of batteries for over 40 years. A lot of people ask me, well, how do you get into a business like that? And the answer is simple. I was going to be a rock star. You see how that worked out. But it's been a work in progress for nearly 20 years now to assemble the best team that Retrieve has ever had, from upper management to the people who work on the floor. Retrieve is truly blessed with the team that we have today. I am honored, I'm privileged to work with and to lead such a group of people. They care about the environment and they work so diligently together. We invite them to expand their knowledge of an industry that is globally growing in leaps and bounds. Safety and compliance is what we really sell to our customers. These people are the ones at Retrieve that have made this possible for Retrieve. So I want to thank each and every employee that works with us. Thank you, Retrieve. I just want to close with this. Retrieve Technologies is a state-of-the-art battery recycling facility. We use BDATs, best demonstrated available technologies. We recycle lead batteries, nickel cadmium, nickel metal hydride, nickel hydrogen, nickel iron, lithium ion, alkaline batteries. When you see the Eco Advanced battery in the stores today by Energizer, we signed a contract with Energizer in 2012. We manufacture the manganese, the 4% that goes into that battery. Battery recycling is a global issue. And in the last couple of years, you've probably heard on the news about the cobalt and the nickel that's being mined in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Mining for nickel and cobalt is a very, very serious problem, and it's what is in all the very well-manufactured lithium-ion batteries. Battery recycling is a global issue, as I said, and the mining of the cobalt and nickel being under fire for so many years. These elements can be recovered and they can be reused in batteries, just like your lead acid battery goes back to the shop, it goes to a lead smelter. They make new batteries out of it. That can be done with every battery, literally. If it plugs into a wall, eventually it's going to be operated by a battery. We are a global company. We have been visited and audited in the last few years by companies from all over the world: Japan, Korea, France, England, Germany, Sweden, Brazil, Canada. They're all interested in what we do, and they're interested in that downstream partner that will make sure that we protect the environment. We've been welcoming visitors for a long time here in Lancaster. They spend the night, they eat at the restaurants, and they all tell me about how much they like this town. So let me tell you this, they are still coming, and Retrieve is really coming together to get them. Thank you.
The Floyd Wolf Award honors the legacy of Floyd Wolf, who touched almost every community and social service agency in his over 50 years of working in the Lancaster business community. The recipient can be an outstanding individual or agency who has demonstrated continued commitment to the Lancaster and Fairfield community in terms of time, financial, personal, or corporate support to the community projects that enrich the quality of life in our community. This year's recipient has been a resident of Lancaster and Fairfield County for just over 5 decades. Since starting a life in Lancaster, our recipient worked for several well-known companies in our community before finally retiring in 2018. Our recipient raised 5 children with his wonderful wife, whom he met in the Peace Corps. He graduated college from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and entered the Peace Corps for several years before finishing his education with a graduate degree from Ohio State. After his retirement, our recipient had no intention of slowing down. In fact, he is one of those retirees that found themselves busier than ever volunteering for organizations and programs such as the JC's Junior Achievement, Habitat for Humanity, the Lancaster Public Education Foundation, and the Maywood Mission. He also served as president of the Lancaster Rotary Club, chairman of United Way Campaign, the Fairfield Medical Center Board, and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Fairfield County. Along the way, he also used his talents and found time to serve as the interim director for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, president of Lancaster City Council, and most recently as the executive director for the Lancaster Festival. He likes to spend all of his free time acting with the Garrett Playhouse and being active in his church. As a result of his community service, he has changed thousands of lives and changed the Lancaster community for the better in countless ways. When asked about his father by the person who nominated him for this award, his son responded by saying, "Perhaps the best thing I can say about my dad is that, as community-minded as he has always been, he never sacrificed being a great father to his children and a great husband to his wife."
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate this year's Floyd Wolf Award recipient, Mr. Ken Culver.
Well, you know, I'm glad I had a little time to walk from that table up to here. This is unscripted. The human mind is a wonderful thing. It starts working the day you're born, and it stops when you stand up in front of people. Jamie, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I'm undeserving of this, but certainly I'm humble here to stand in front of you accepting it. And speaking of family, I have to reach out especially for a big shout out to the love of my life, my wife of 51 years, Suzanne. I met Floyd Wolf about 50 years ago when I was just getting started and Floyd was in the golden years. I looked up to him and Emily often with awe at all of the things that they did together and that he did for the community. And now time flies, and so here I am. And what a wonderful opportunity for me to stand in front of you and thank the community for allowing me to serve in the various capacities that you've seen. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here tonight. I'd like to, at this time, give you my address, 1072 Stone Ridge Avenue. And in conclusion, I am standing on Floyd Wolf's shoulders right now, the shoulders of Floyd Wolf and all those in his generation who made this community a better place. And I'm sure that his view and his objective was the same as mine, and that is to make the community a better place when we left than when we found it. And with your help and your encouragement, I continue to do so in the future. Thank you so much, Jamie, and thank you, Lancaster. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce.
Congratulations, Ken. Well deserved.
So this is the point, the chairperson of the Board of Directors for the Chamber of Commerce has the honor and privilege of recognizing a person or entity who has made special contribution to our community or who has assisted the chairperson in a special way during the past year. There's no set criteria. Each chairperson gets to bring their own criteria and bias. From our list of past winners, there's no doubt they have all been very well deserving. For this year's Chairman Award, I have chosen an individual who has not only been a great partner and advocate of the Chamber of Commerce, but also a valuable asset in making Lancaster what it is today. I have had the pleasure of working with this year's recipient in multiple capacities over the years and have come to appreciate the true professional he is. Our recipient has spent the last 2 decades assisting new and existing businesses in our community, from small business startups to retail development to large manufacturers. This person has become the go-to resource representing our community. He is active with the Port Authority, the CIC, and the 33 Alliance. Our recipient's career has included so many accomplishments. I'll share a few. The U.S. Corrugated, now West Rock, manufacturing plant and rail spur, $232,000 railroad transload facility on the former Anchor Hocking Plant 2 site, a $2.1 million cleanup of the Frick Gallagher Rayovac battery site funded by Clean Ohio remediation funds, the Ohio EPA, and the Lancaster Port Authority, a 50,000 square foot speculative building funded by the Lancaster Port Authority, the Ewing Street Light Industrial Park and Rehab of 2,400 square foot building, and most recently, a new state-of-art economic development conference room and for the executive director's office in the City Hall. Our recipient works tirelessly responding to business leads from all over the U.S. and around the world. He has spent countless hours working on state and national certifications of our industrial sites to make them more attractive to companies looking to start up or relocate. He also serves as the go-to person for our existing manufacturers looking to expand their businesses, hire employees, or tap into new and existing utilities. And just a side note, our award winner does all of this while serving as superintendent of the City of Lancaster Municipal Gas Department and Economic Development Director for the City of Lancaster. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me honor this year's Chamber Award, Chairman's Award recipient, Mr. Mike Pettit.
All right, well, I'll echo what Ken Culver says. Your mind just stops a little bit. If you know about Myers-Briggs personality test, I'm an ISTJ, and we're big planners. We don't like surprises, so it's a total surprise to me. I'd like to recognize my wife, Cheryl. She's with us tonight, and 42 years, and she's my conscience and my love, so thank you. I was brought here to the city by Art Wallace and in December of 2000, and later I was to run the gas company, then later took on 2002, took on economic development, and then in 2006 with Mayor David Smith, we created the Port Authority. And our biggest transaction was a $358 million bond transaction that generates revenue without impacting taxpayers or gas customers, and gives us the funds to do some of these many things that we get to do. Now, Mayor Shuffler, tremendous support and visionary for the city and taking us to the next level. But for you as businesses, I enjoy working with each and every one of you tremendously. Just love my job, and it's winding down. So thank you very much. Thank you for your business, for your investment in this community. God bless you, and God bless this community. Thank you.
Well, it's been fun. I truly enjoyed my year as the chair of the Lancaster Fairfield Chamber of Commerce. With my career change midway through the year, Travis, Margie, and Cheryl really went the extra mile to ease and support my chamber responsibilities while I adjusted to my new position, so thank you to them. I would also like to thank my previous employer, Steve Wells and Fairfield National Bank. Like so many local companies, their dedication and support to our community is tremendous. They were very supportive of my participation on the chamber board, so thank you. I'd also like to thank the United Way Fairfield County Board of Trustees for also fully supporting me as I went through my transition into my new career. And lastly, I'd like to thank my wife, Jamie, and my daughters, Brayden and Brenna, who have supported and shared in my community involvement. And thank all of you for making this a great community. Thank you.
Scott, it's been a pleasure working with you this past year. Your leadership and your guidance has been a great asset to the organization and our staff. We know that you enjoy a good bourbon, so we have assembled a personalized bourbon tasting kit for you. We thought you could sit back and enjoy a nice glass of bourbon and reflect on the fond memories of having the chance to work with such awesome people like Cheryl, Margie, and I. Okay, that might be stretching it. I know, okay. Scott, we hope you enjoy it, and it serves as a reminder of working with the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you again for all your time and commitment. At this time, I'd like to introduce the 2019 Chairman of the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce Board, Rick Lemons.
You got the power, all right. It's always a challenge to wonder what Mr. Campetti is going to come up with walk-up music. Thank you, Travis. I really do look forward to the opportunity to serve as chairman, and looking forward to working with the board and the staff as we try to accomplish the 2019 action plan. We have three primary goals the chamber does this year. The due structure has not been changed or even probably looked at for many years, perhaps many decades, and so that's a big undertaking that your chamber is going to take this year. And we're also going to continue to focus on our member engagement strategies and enhance the comprehensive marketing plan to increase the visibility of the chamber and its members. The business community, as you heard just a few moments ago, when the chamber honored Mike Pettit, the business community in Lancaster and greater Fairfield County is very strong. And the chamber is excited about what the rest of the year holds for the organization and its members. I look forward to assisting Travis and the team to ensure that we continue to advocate on behalf of the business community and that we provide top-notch training and the other resources and support that the chamber members need. I want to thank you all for your continued support of the chamber, and I want to thank you for coming together with us this evening. Together, we make a community. And as I conclude, we'll go through, and what I would like you to do is a couple more opportunities for applause. Let's give a final applause for all of our award winners this evening. Thank you. And let's thank Travis and Cheryl and Margie for all their work for this year's program and for everything that they do. And let's thank the staff and the students from Fisher Catholic and from Cheers and Creative Catering and their staff for the fine service and food this evening. Wish you all the very best of the rest of the year, and please be safe as you travel away from us this evening. Thank you.